let it pour, let it rain a whole lot more, 'cause I got them deep river blues. My old gal, she's a good old pal, but she looks like a waterfowl when I get them deep river blues.
Did you just make that up?
No, that's an old song.
I like it.
Hey, folks, it's Just Plain Living, and I'm John Gray with the lovely Miss
Peggy Burton. Good morning.
Man, I'm Jim Fuller.
So we've had, we talked about rain, no crops, no hay, no corn, no beans.
And
well, let me tell you what,
we got it now.
We got some rain now.
we have. It may be too late. Maybe too late for
Was it
all
4
that.
inches?
It's 3.5 something inches right here in
goodness.
Tullahoma. 3.6, I believe.
Well, I know it hammered last night.
It did.
So everybody ought to be happy.
Yeah.
I wanted to say good morning to Marlene Moore. I think she's out there somewhere
Marlene.
in our town.
Hi, Marlene.
Yeah. I told her to come by, say hello.
I wish she would.
I do too.
Are you going to share with us who Marlene Moore is?
It's not Marlene Moore. I'm sorry, Marlene. It's Marlene Moore Goodman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's
All right.
my friend from a long time ago, and she moved to Nashville, and now she's in Alabama, but she's visiting.
She and her husband Robin Moore was one of the people back years ago who was very involved in the saving of South Jackson.
Right.
And worked very diligently and very hard on that old building to bring it up to code and get things put together. And they were two that were there with us on that eventful night in a barn outside of Nashville when we got all of the seating that was in the Tennessee Theater and brought it from a barn back to South Jackson Civic Center to install seating.
Yeah, and Marlene directed many plays here.
Oh, yeah.
When you look back at that whole body of work of the codes issues and all the things,
crazy.
And lack of funding, it's miraculous that
it's miraculous that it's standing.
Yeah.
And I hope that people out there in the community realize that our town is partially validated by having a nice performing arts center and an arts center, a fine arts center, a science center. For a small town, I think that's great.
We have a lot of great stuff, and due to the dedication of people like Robin and Marlene and Peggy and Ralph and
you
you can't start naming them because if you do, you forget somebody, and we don't want to do that. But there's just a lot of fine folks that spent a lot of time.
You really can't credit Ralph for saving the Civic Center.
Yeah, well, we can credit him for keeping you propped up.
You can credit him for not divorcing me.
Ralph.
I miss him.
Oh, I miss him too. What a friend. What a great guy. But yeah, it's very important, and the financial gifts that people people bestow upon a place like that. Because you're right, Jimmy. The fire marshal. I guess the biggest thing was the fire.
Oh, the fire marshal.
Has been the fire marshal.
I mean, I'll never forget back in the old days when we did the country show. We had bales of hay. Somebody might walk across with a cigarette.
Yeah.
We used to do that at the Legion all the time. John and I did it. One of the fire marshals told us that this stuff can just spontaneously ignite.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
You're
sitting there overnight. This stuff can just go up in flames.
Who knew? Spark.
Who knew?
Yeah, but
people were careless.
It was and still is a lot of fun.
And it is fire safe now.
And it is fire safe now, and it is air conditioned now. Used to you'd go in there for that country show, and it'd sort of be like the Grand Ole Opry.
I know it.
People sweat running down their back, and
we fanned. Remember, had the fan with the commercials on the fan.
Now we've got air conditioning in there, and
I know it's really nice.
It's
And
a nice
besides,
place.
if anybody's watching Tuesday night, or any night, we're having Jason Petty this weekend.
Yeah, Saturday,
22nd.
The Western Swing and the Cowboys. About cowboy music.
And
we have an interview with Jason on today's show that will give you a little bit more insight as to what that's all going to be
and
about.
I wanted to mention that Dina Dargo, the Western artist, does a lot of horses. She's coming back with a lot more of her artwork to exhibit in the front room. So that would be nice.
Yeah, it'd be great. Jimmy, Western music, it's amazing what Jason does, and I really appreciate him because of the research he does involving the history of all of this stuff. And I didn't realize that, and he tells about this in the interview, that during World War II, when the soldiers came back, big band music had pretty much slowed down, and Western swing was the dance music of that time, and Bing Crosby
sang a little bit of it.
Western swing. All of the big artists had moved into Western swing and cowboy songs because that was the most popular thing. And of course, it's sort of like Alan Jackson's song about 5, 6, 8 years ago, They've Gone Country. When country got a big portion of the charts, all of these guys, Dick Clark and Rat Clark, California and New York, came to Nashville, and that song was "They've Gone Country." Look at them boots, you know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, wingtip shoe guys were wearing boots because the money was in The money was in Nashville.
Right.
And to say that is to say that there was a time when some of the biggest artists in the United States were singing Western swing because that's where the money was.
But you told me one time, I think, that now the decisions about what gets published and such is made by people in New York, not in Nashville.
There's not much decision making done in Nashville anymore. Clear Channel Radio, Elvis couldn't get a deal right now.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You know, George Jones probably couldn't get a deal right now. The days when people could go to the radio stations and walk in with a guitar and a disc and say, "Here's my 45. Here's what. Let me talk to you.
$10. Would you please
play this?"
Yeah.
Those days are gone. I mean, that stuff is all computerized. Your playlist or on Clear Channel Radio is probably maybe 35 songs, maybe 40 at the most.
Well, and there's YouTube where you can just do your own thing anytime you like.
So it's not so much Nashville anymore. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on up there. A lot of those people sold all of their catalogs are owned by China. Acuff Rose, I believe, sold all their stuff to China. Garth Brooks sold all of his stuff to China. I mean, Did
he get enough to live on the rest of it? Okay. Yeah.
So, and what's happened there is the Chinese have taken and put that with a sponsor.
Yeah.
With Target or with Pepsi or with Budweiser, you know, and so whoever's going to be a star coming up has to fit the mold for these sponsorships because that's the face of whoever, you know. And we have somebody else that's going to be on the show today. Is I think Leroy Grizzle's going to be here talking about the 41A Festival.
When is that?
That's next weekend.
Week after next.
That's next weekend. And Dustin Lynch is going to be here.
Awesome.
To play that show. And I told Leroy, I said, well, y'all better plan on an extra 10,000 people because I guarantee you, the young women from all over this country follow that kid around.
He fits the mold perfectly about what it takes to be a country star these days.
Oh, he's clean and blue-eyed and handsome and thin and, you know, I mean,
he can do the music.
He can write. He writes some great stuff, and he's a great performer. And if you'll remember, some of you out there, and I'm looking for the video. I think it's upstairs. We have it. He had a band here in Tullahoma when he was in high school called 15 Rain.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. We've got some video.
They used to play over at the park over here, and I'd go over there and video them.
I remember that.
And I'm gonna see if I can track that video down.
That'd be fun.
That'd
be fun.
But we've been doing television now for 20-something years, and you can't imagine how challenging it is to go find a piece of footage from 10 years ago or something like that. So,
and it might be melted together upstairs in the attic. You know?
Yeah, and a lot of it's on videotape. Of course, we've been doing DVDs for a long time. So.
I say that to say, you know, we have a representative from the Rutledge Falls Baptist Church here today.
Right.
It's going to be talking about a program they're having. They're a deal out there. You know, there's all kinds of wonderful stuff going on around here.
There is plenty to do. People that are whining about nothing to do, they just need to take a look.
You know, and the who was it? Jimmy Buffett was here this past weekend.
How did that go?
Out here in the park.
I was in Nashville.
I think it went pretty good
good
because I live way probably 2-3 miles from Fraser McEwen Park, but I could hear real good on my front porch.
Well, it wasn't Jimmy Buffett; it was a cover band.
It was a
Right, but
tribute
still,
band.
they were Jimmy Buffett tunes.
Yeah, that's the city.
And I think they had to be really good in order to do to be a tribute band.
Sure.
You've got to get permission from the man.
Yes.
Jimmy himself.
Yeah, Jimmy, I would imagine. But of course, Jimmy is going, okay, every one of them that goes out and does a show, he'll get a check.
He'll get a check, exactly.
Yeah. Jimmy probably says,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and knock yourself out.
Throw your beach balls.
Oh, speaking about balls, the football didn't bounce too well for Peyton Manning last night. He threw three.
I haven't even seen
He threw 3 interceptions in the first quarter.
In the first quarter?
First quarter.
Oh, my goodness.
And a running back fumbled. They had 4 turnovers in the first quarter. But at the end of the game, he was 1 score away from winning.
Oh, wow.
And that same running back fumbled again, didn't he, Andrew? Yeah. They were going down to score, and the running back fumbled again. And so, of course, all the talking heads this morning and last night were, oh, well, Peyton's not back. We thought Peyton was back.
Yeah,
Eli threw 3 interceptions in the first half. Peyton threw 3 interceptions. Eli came back and won. Peyton didn't win. You know.
Yeah, it's all the talk.
The Manning boys. It's like nobody else exists in football but the Manning brothers.
They did the whole game
they're on every
themselves.
commercial. Every time you turn a commercial
There
on
they
TV.
are.
And Archie's over here probably got his little thing on his arm and his accountant's hat, and he's over here typing in numbers.
Must be nice.
But that says a lot for their character and the kind of people they are, because
it does.
There's been a lot of great athletes that nobody would pay them to endorse anything because of their personal life.
Exactly.
That's true. That's very
they
true.
have had they represent themselves well.
Very, very much so. Very much so. But and then UT took it on the cuff.
They played pretty good for about 3 quarters, and then it just all came apart.
Fell apart for them.
Yeah.
But Florida. What can you say? Speed.
And plus I think there was Florida had a lot more depth than UT did, and I think that showed in the fourth quarter. So.
It sure did. It sure did. Because they were rotating those linemen out.
Yeah, all through the game, so they'd be fresh in the fourth quarter.
Fresh in the fourth quarter, and guess what? It worked.
Did you see that thing on Facebook today where somebody posted something, said the new top 10 in college football, and number 1 was Alabama, and number 2 was LSU, and number 3 was Oregon, and number 4 was Alabama's second team.
I think it's time for us to go.
Talk about depth.
Yeah, that's depth. That's depth, right?
Absolutely.
Alabama, which is a semi-pro team located in the South. Hey, they're telling us it's time to move along. Folks, don't go away. We're going to have a great show today. A lot of activity. We've got some live music going to be on here. Just everything is good. You come back. We'll be here.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force. Serving Tullahoma. Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this?
Great. Good.
There we go.
something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people, we have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Welcome back to Living. I have a wonderful guest today, Rose Mines. Hey, Rose.
Hi,
I'm so glad you came. You're here from the Rutledge Falls Baptist Church.
Yes, I am.
And you want to tell us about an event. So let's just get right to it.
Okay, yes.
What's
we are
coming up?
having a women's conference on October the 6th.
October 6th, women's conference.
And the registration starts at 8:30 that morning. The conference itself starts at 9 a.m. We'll go until noon, and then we will also
break?
have lunch.
Oh,
we're providing
now,
lunch.
What is the cost for this?
$5.
Are you kidding?
No,
Lunch,
just
a conference, and it's a kind of an all-day affair, isn't
Yes.
it? So people show up at 8:30, sign in, pay their $5, and when does it end?
It ends, the conference actually ends at noon, and
Okay.
then we're providing lunch.
So you're having lunch, and you have time to talk and hash
Yes.
out what's been... Do you have a particular subject that's going to be
Well, our
discussed?
topic this year is harvest blessings.
Oh, that's nice.
Since it's autumn, and you know, it's thinking about all the blessings we receive from God.
Yeah.
And so our speaker, we have two speakers. One is Pam Harris, who is actually a teacher at Motlow, professor
Oh, good.
there, and she's going to speak first. And then we have Elizabeth Lee, who is from Murfreesboro, and she has made a DVD and written a book, and it is
this
called,
the book?
Yes, Having a Marker Effect in a Pencil World.
Having a marker effect in a pencil world. Have you read the book?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And it's very good. It is actually talking about making a difference in the world, a lasting difference.
I see.
That you, as an individual, can do.
A lot of
Even if
people
it's
don't
just
think
one
that,
person.
but one person can touch many lives.
Yes, they sure can.
Is this book for sale there?
Yes, she will be bringing her
and
DVDs
maybe autograph
and the books.
and,
Yes,
and be
she'd
showing
happy
about the
to.
book, how to make a difference in the world. I think if every individual could make the difference even in one life, that would be a wonderful thing.
Yes, it would.
Do you all have a lot of conferences during the year?
We only have two, a women's conference once a year, and then we do have a retreat 6 months later.
I see.
But we are having a judgment house at our church. That'll be the last 2 weekends.
What does that
in
mean?
October. A judgment house is kind of like, instead of having a haunted house for Halloween, it is it's a play that is put on where someone dies.
So it's a play. It's a
yes,
play.
it's a play.
All right. It's a performance.
Yes.
And it's put on right there in the church?
the church, yes.
And is it locally produced? Is it something you all produce at the church?
Yes, it is. It's members of the church and volunteers. And it is when someone dies, they have they choose, or they will be they choose in their life whether they want to go to heaven or hell by the way they live.
By the way they live.
And this is just to kind of show, to make you think about that.
How long is that play? Do you know?
It will last probably about 30 minutes.
Okay. And so is that a free thing, or is it pay to get in?
I believe this year it is free.
And the dates of that again are
the last two weekends.
So does that mean Friday and Saturday?
It's actually Saturday and Sunday night, because Friday night's football game.
Oh, sure.
So we're doing Saturday and Sunday.
So what time do you usually do that?
6 o'clock.
People need reservations?
It would probably be good, so they did not have to stand in line.
Let's give a phone number for that. If they want reservations to see the film.
455-8879.
455-8879. It'd be good if we could get that up, because I think a lot of people might be interested in that. And that would be at the, tell us where the church, I know where it is, but everybody doesn't.
It's Rutledge Falls Baptist Church. It's on the old Tullahoma Highway, and then you turn on Rutledge Falls Road.
Turn left on
Turn
Rutledge,
left.
and you'll run into it, I think.
Right. It is right next to the falls.
Right. And in October is a beautiful time to look at the falls.
Yes, it is.
You know, they could come a little early and run down there and take a look, can't they?
Right, they sure can.
It's such a beautiful spot.
Oh, it is.
I mean, it's uplifting already to be in that spot.
Just to drive down the lane there is beautiful.
So I know that you're here doing all the talking. Do you have a position in the church, or you're just a volunteer that?
No, I am the women's leader.
The women's leader in the church.
Yes.
How many people do y'all expect, or do you feel like you can handle?
Last year we had close to 200.
That's wonderful.
Yes, so we're hoping for even more this
Yeah, and we
year.
need to make it clear that you don't have to be a Baptist to go to the women's conference. This is about women.
That's correct.
And
It's
things you
open
can
to
do to
all
change your
women.
life, I believe.
Yes, it is.
I think that anytime you get together with a group, it becomes an inspiration and to just throw ideas around.
Yes.
Do you feel like that you have changed some lives through this work? I'll bet you have.
Yes,
I'm sure
I do.
you have.
We have a bus ministry too at the church, and where we pick up a lot of children here in Tullahoma and in Manchester, and
that's
some of
wonderful.
the parents are now coming to church.
And so you actually go and get them.
Yes, we do.
I'm not sure every church does that. That's a wonderful thing to do. How many people do you figure you pick up?
On Wednesday nights, we have about 100 children.
That's marvelous.
Yes.
I know that, I mean, in my mind, I haven't been out there to the church in a while, but is it still the same kind of quaint church, or have you added?
Oh, yes.
You've added, haven't you?
Yes, we have. The old church is still there. That is our youth building.
Okay.
And then we have a new building. I guess it's been there about 5 years.
So you can accommodate 400 people,
oh, yes.
easy.
I believe it's 500.
400 or 500, and I think that, so you don't have to worry about having room.
Yes.
So now, if people did not choose to call about the conference, can they just show up?
They sure can.
Okay.
We will be
It would be
registering
nice
that
if they
morning.
call, though, because then you know how much lunch to prepare.
Yes, that's
I mean,
why
my
we're
goodness, if you just go out there for a $5 meal, there's a website there, and I don't have my glasses on. Can you read that?
The email address is rfbcwomensministry@gmail.com.
Okay, RFBC.
Rutledge Falls Baptist Church.
So that's easy to remember.
Yes.
Well, I know it's going to be successful, and I think it's exciting that you care enough to promote something like this and handle it through the church. This way you touch a lot of lives. Is there any other words of wisdom you'd like to give about what all you all do there at the church?
Well, we have, in November, we will be having a Thanksgiving outreach. Last year, we prepared 1,200 meals that we deliver to the shut-ins.
That's wonderful. So if somebody is shut in and they would like to call and say, hey, I know somebody that needs a meal, you all will take care of that.
We sure will. We're hoping to deliver about 2,000 this year.
That's wonderful. I know a lot of our churches do these wonderful outreach programs, and I think that we are blessed in our region, all around Middle Tennessee, with individuals and churches that will go the extra mile to see that our homeless or whatever is fed and has a happy day. And let's go back to the conference. October
the 6th.
Come in at 8:30 and register.
The conference starts at 9.
We got to go.
Okay.
Thanks for coming, Rose. It was great having you. Good luck with your program.
Thank you
We'll
very
be back
much.
with more of Living.
It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the Eye Care Center wants to make your eyes the best windows possible. The professionals at the Eye Care Center have been offering comprehensive eye care for over 30 years. From eye examinations to eye surgery, from children to seniors, we have the services you need. We pride ourselves on taking the time to fully understand our patients' wants and needs. Each patient is a unique situation and deserves our full attention and the latest treatment options. So call or stop by one of our 4 convenient locations and start seeing better today.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m., featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*, 77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm with Jason Petty right now, and we are at South Jackson Civic Center, and Jason is getting ready to make his third appearance at South Jackson with his new show, The Swingin' Cowboys. Jason, tell us a little bit about your new show.
Well, The Swingin' Cowboys is dedicated to the music of the Great American West. That's what we like to say. What we do, and if you've seen our shows before, you know it's more than just a concert. It's more of a historical type narrative with music. And what we do is we go back to the early days of the Old West, which is about as soon as people started coming out west, 1830s and 40s. And what they did was they brought the old English, Scottish, Irish folk songs along with them. And then slowly but surely the melody stayed the same, but the lyrics started to change to fit their new Western lifestyles. And then, of course, they started to write new songs with new melodies. And what we do is we pick up from there and introduce you to some of these songs that we're sang, to the great herds of cattle to help keep the cattle calm on the trails. And we move it up into the modern era. After the cowboy way sort of dies out, we move it up into the modern era, and the American cowboy is one of the great icons of Americana. And it all started with the very first movie ever made in 1903. Thomas Edison's company was The Great Train Robbery, and it was a Western. What else? And then through vaudeville, Western music was big. And then the Sons of the Pioneers, we do a section dedicated to them. The Singing Cowboys, Gene Autry, Roy Rogers, and all those greats. And Western swing music, which was the equivalent during World War II to big band music. The GIs came home on leave and they wanted to dance to something, and country music's dance music was called Western swing music. And we talk about that a little bit. Then we move up into the 50s when television and radio were huge, and you had all those great old Westerns on TV, How Gun Will Travel, Bonanza, Gunsmoke. And then you have where Western music invades sort of country music a little bit, and they started calling it country and Western music. And we do Cattle Call by Eddie Arnold and a couple other songs, all the way up to modern day. I mean, they still sing about the cowboy. They're still such an icon in the history of America that they're still writing songs about them. They're still making movies about them. And they're huge to this very day. And that's what this does. This show basically takes you on a journey through the Great American West through music.
One of the things that's always impressed me, Jason, about you and your shows is the amount of research, the amount of time you put into researching what you do. And a lot of people think, well, he can sing or she can sing, depending on the entertainer. And boy, they play well, they're musical instruments, whatever it is. But most people don't realize the work that goes into putting a show together and picking the right songs and having the right history to talk about to really turn this into an entertainment experience.
Well, I think it's a large part of it, and I think people appreciate it too. When I was in college, I loved history. When I was in high school, I loved history. I still love history to this very day. And when I got into music, well, it's the first thing I'm drawn to is the story behind the songs, the history of a certain musical movement. You've seen my shows before. We do a lot of the history of Hank Williams and how he affected country music. Patsy Cline, how she affected country music, what kind of state it was in when they came along. We also do that with this show. But, you go into research, and it's the things from way back in the 1830s and 1840s are a little more difficult to find than, something about the 1950s. And so you have to do the extra work. We, as far as going out to Oklahoma City, and we went out to the Cowboy Museum and Hall of Fame out there. And we did a lot of research. I read a lot of things. I read The Complete History of the Singing Cowboys, which was written by Doug Green, who goes by Ranger Doug of Riders in the Sky. He's got this huge book on the entire history of the Singing Cowboys. My dad was a big Singing Cowboy fan. My grandparents were the big country music fans, and thus that's where I got my love of both of those types of music. But the history is just as important to me. And for people who come to the show expecting just a concert, well, I think you're going to be in for a pleasant surprise. But people who come out here and think it's a history lesson, it's not. You'll get the history, but you'll also get some really great information, I think, that adds a whole lot to the music you're getting ready to hear.
All right, one thing I want to touch on before we leave is there was one cowboy that was a singing cowboy that could ride a horse well, probably didn't sing as good as some, and ended up leaving it for more serious roles in the movie industry. Who was that guy?
Well, I would tell you, but then that would ruin the show for everybody. So it's a big mystery. You come out to the show and you will be amazed at one of the greatest actors of our generation, one of the icons of the silver screen, started out as a singing cowboy, and you'll never be able to guess who it was. All
right.
Pilgrim.
Jason Petty, our friend here in Tullahoma, bringing one of his wonderful shows to the South Jackson Civic Center. And that show, Jason, is going to be the 22nd?
It is.
Of September?
That's a Saturday night.
And that's a Saturday night. And the time of that show will be at 7:30?
I do believe that is correct.
Pull that poster up and let us see what that...
I just happen to have right here at my beck and call.
Look at that. Isn't that great? What a likeness. You say you were passing a stone there?
I was having some sort of
out-of-body experience.
Activational experience at this point. Actually, I think I looked up and then looked right into the sun, which they say, don't do that.
Don't do that. Jason Petty. Come see him, folks. South Jackson Civic Center, September the 22nd. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
I went to several colleges, but when I stepped into this gym, it just felt like home.
Just learning the different techniques and the way Mr. Bryan tells us how to study the subject. Art, that's where it's really at for me.
I decided to go to nursing because I've always wanted to help people. You make those connections that you probably never forget. This is my motto, my future.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
For things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the stage. I have to confess, we've never worked together before. We've never been on the stage together before because we used to be competitors. But it's my pleasure to have Mr. Ernie Hobbs here today, Michelle Simmons, and Deuce Anderson. And they're here today to talk about the Middle Tennessee Business Network, which is, if you may not know about that, but it's a growing organization here in town. And I'm going to just kick it off and let Ernie start telling us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Jim, good. Thanks for having us on.
My pleasure.
About 6 years ago, I actually started my own business, and some other guys were either had their business started or were trying to start their business too. And we're trying to figure out a way that we could actually get together, because what was happening is, as we were meeting with clients, clients are saying, hey, I need your service, but do you know anybody that can do this? Or do you know anybody that can do that? And with us being new in business, we hadn't made all those connections yet, and so we're trying to find a way to do that. So we actually developed Middle Tennessee Business Network. It's actually a business network where business people come together to meet once each week. We share business products and services with one another. We network and act as a referral system so that when we encounter those customers, we can send them to somebody that we know and trust. And then we build long-lasting personal relationships with one another, and we've actually become great friends through this network. And it's just a unique organization. We don't try to do things that the Chamber does. We actually just try to focus in on each other's businesses and help each other. And we actually support the Chamber. We're actually members of the Chamber. So.
Yeah, and that's a great concept, and it actually works.
It does.
It really does work.
Especially in a small business environment where you're kind of out there on your own, and if you're the only person underneath your umbrella, you're in a one-deep position. And as a small business owner, that can be kind of intimidating. So to be able to once a week get together with individuals that are in the same situation as you are and be able to lean on each other as far as, number one, as cheerleaders, number two, is things that we've learned, it just enhances who we are and what we we can do.
Sounds like a counseling support group, doesn't it?
To an extent, it is.
Well, I like the way Deuce puts it, though. It's like a support group, because really, when you're in business, it can be an intimidating thing, especially if you're the only person involved.
Yep. And, we help motivate each other. We help support each other. When people are down, we try to lift them up. When they're excited, we try to rejoice with them. So it's really neat. And one of the things that we do during the meeting time is we actually do what's called what we call a golden nugget, or professional development piece, because being in business, you need to keep improving yourself and things. So we encourage our members that when they learn something through a seminar or through a book or a website article or something like that, to come and bring that and share it with us, and they schedule to do that. And it's actually a way to either avoid a pitfall or maybe something new that's come about, and it really helps bring something unique to each meeting, and kind of gives you that kick you need sometimes.
Yeah, and when you say avoid a pitfall, because I guess chances are somebody else might have dealt with that and might be able to help you.
Yep, you want to translate it to your industry. Sure.
And to piggyback on that, if I may, the other thing about that is that typically, like, if you are in a one-deep position as far as a business owner or manager or whatever the case may be, those larger corporations out there, they all have seminars they can go to, and they all have other people they can fall back on for, well, they've been there before, and this is what they did. Well, as an individual business owner, you really don't have that kind of a thing to fall back on. So having other individuals that are in the same position as you and being able to share that information is invaluable.
And then the other thing we do during the meeting is we actually have a 15-minute segment where each business takes a week and they share more about their business. Everybody gets a chance at every meeting to share for 30 seconds on what their business is, where they're located, what a good referral is for them. But then they rotate and take a 15-minute segment and then tell more in depth about products or services they provide. And it just allows you to be able to learn more about that business, so that when you're out talking to your customers, if they say, somebody that can sell me this XYZ widget, well, yeah, Deuce, he just picked some of those up last week, and he's got them on sale or whatever, and so we're just able to refer people that way and help out. each other.
Now, you guys have been, you might have told me that earlier on, but you guys have been together for how long, this organization?
We started in August of 2006.
Okay.
So, yeah, over 6 years.
Okay.
And we started out in Tullahoma.
Right.
And then at about the same time, Bedford County created a group. And then shortly after that, Manchester, and that's why I said about the same time, because Bedford County and the Manchester groups both came on pretty much about the same time during the same year. And so now there's 3 different groups out there serving 3 different communities, but we all work together to try to share between all 3 communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how this concept works. Suppose I had a major flood in my house and I had a tremendous amount of mold. You got somebody you could recommend to help me out with
2 people.
Absolutely.
2 people. Well, the reason I say that is because, first of all, you're going to have somebody clean it up, and I know exactly who to utilize there.
Yep.
And then secondly, you've got water in your house for a reason, and so it could be more. If it was a plumbing leak, then obviously we have a plumber within the group. If it was a roof leak or something, then we know somebody that does that too. So the great thing is that there's somebody with just about everything that anybody does within the group, and that's the idea.
Right. Well, I was trying to get Michelle to say something because we've kind of dominated. Dominated the conversation. Michelle.
Well, when you have one of the founding papas right here, it's kind of hard to get in, But that's okay. Something else that we do that Ernie didn't mention is that we practice when you're out talking with other people. Inevitably, they ask, "Well, what do you do?" And you have to practice telling people that. Okay, and we do what's called a 60-second business presentation. And so every week we get up and we practice saying who we are, what we do, and what's a good referral for us.
That's a great idea because a lot of times that's probably all you got, 's a minute or something.
That's right.
Okay.
And so it gets people comfortable with that concept.
Right. Okay. And you meet do all of them meet on the same day in every town, or is it different times?
No. Manchester meets on Tuesday morning. Is that right?
8 o'clock.
Yeah. And then Tullahoma meets on Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock. And we're actually at the First Baptist Church Ministry Center in their little youth area building. Manchester's meeting in...
We're meeting at Microtel, but that might be changing.
Okay. And then Bedford County actually meets at the Chamber of Commerce in Shelbyville on Thursday mornings at 8 o'clock. So.
How did you think of this? I mean...
It was several months of meeting with these business guys and us developing ideas. We actually looked at becoming...
BNI.
BNI, Business Networking International. But the fees were so high that for small business owners, I mean, we were, struggling to pay the light bill and insurance and things of that nature, So we wanted to develop something that was a little more economically friendly, but yet built a community within a community, and that's what we did.
Now, the other thing with BNI was that there was a lot of rules that they had that made it very restrictive as far as the group goes.
Exactly. Yep, that's right.
And wanted to make sure that it wasn't, we want to help our fellow businesses, not restrict them in any particular way.
Right.
So coming up with our own model was actually the most beneficial idea to do.
Okay, all right. And, we want to give you an opportunity to pitch that because I know you're probably looking for new members.
Yeah, we always welcome businesses. We always want to continue to expand. We're looking at going to Franklin County and to some other counties, so we'd love to do that. So, the website there is on the screen, so all our contact information's out there. But my cell phone number is 588-1182. Again, that's 588-1182 if you want to call me. And then Deuce is actually the president of our Tullahoma group right now. And Deuce, I don't know if you wanted to call
615-995-1096 if you want to call
Although
me.
Deuce is in the radio business, so you'll probably run into him all the time.
Yes,
I do.
that's right.
And by the way, Michelle is with ServPro. We never gave her an opportunity to say that. So.
That's right.
All right. All right. Well, I hope some people contact you. It sounds like a great group here and a wonderful idea, Ernie. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Guys,
I can't take all the credit, but thank you.
Thank you so much for coming by today. We appreciate it very much. And we'll be right back in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, right after these messages.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. so you can bank when, where, and how you want, at our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. I have the great opportunity today to be with a gentleman that's going to speak on a subject that's very close to my heart and should be close to yours. Mark Bassett, welcome.
Thank you.
You're going to
Glad
talk
be
a
here.
little bit about heart health and CPR and whatever, so
Yes.
take it away.
Appreciate this. It's an honor to be here today to talk about saving the life of an individual. There's more cardiac arrest happens in the home. Approximate 85% of people goes in cardiac arrest
At home?
At home. They don't ever make it to the hospital. The American Heart Association, which I'm an instructor, wants to educate the public of the skills to be able to use some life-saving measures. There's approximate over 300,000 yearly people goes in cardiac arrest that dies.
300,000?
300,000.
That's huge. Well, what if I'm at home and someone in my house shows some symptoms? What would be some of those symptoms?
Some of the signs would be nauseated, sweating profusely, coloration.
Like
yes.
redness or maybe not?
Purple.
Purple?
Color, it'd be a different color. Discomfort in their chest. I've had a lot of people in my class that I've taught stated that they've just had a lot of people that would feel discomfort in their chest.
And it's just discomfort, not necessarily huge.
Sometimes people may think it's indigestion, but it could not be.
Could very well be
something else.
Symptoms of heart attack.
Yes.
And how about this numbness in the arm I hear about? Is that a symptom?
That's a symptom as well.
Okay.
There's different signs.
Yeah. So what's the first thing a person that's available a person should do?
Call
or even
911.
the individual.
Yes.
The individual, if you're able.
Call 911. Today in our society, we have just about everybody has cell phones.
Right.
And call 911. At least have emergency response personnel on the way to you.
Alerted.
Alerted at least. A lot of the fire departments has first responders, as well as, you know, they will be calling lots of times an ambulance and even have an ambulance on the way to you.
So as a general rule, would a person be able themselves to make that call? Like if you're in the house by yourself? I mean, I'm an old person. I think about things like that.
Sometimes that they can be able to, and sometimes not.
And if they can't, is there something to do?
Lots of times they have a medical advice, maybe like First Alert.
Yeah.
Lots of you senior citizens has the First Alert, which is really a good thing to have.
Is that like a thing around your neck where you push a button and you hope somebody comes?
Yes.
And will they knock the door down if you can't get to the door?
Sometimes the fire department will have to do force entries or to the police department. Getting back to talking about the CPR in general, now you can do on-hand CPR.
Oh, okay.
So
do you
if
want
you
to
can,
kind of describe that?
Yes, on-hand CPR, it does away with the breaths.
Oh, it does?
Yes. At least everybody can do something. And lots of times a person will feel more comfortable of doing the on hands than the breaths.
Right.
Now, the breaths is very important as well. Say, for instance, if you're at a business and you notice somebody starts sweating profusely.
And being breathless, maybe?
Yes, and showing signs of cardiac arrest. A lot of times a person will notice that and they will wait on the professional. Great. But also in the meantime, before that they can get there, the person may go in full code, they may pass out. Lots of times a person said, okay, we'll wait on the professionals to get here.
But you ought to do something, shouldn't you?
You should do something in the meantime. A lot of times people don't feel comfortable in giving breaths, but at least they can do something by pushing hard and pushing fast.
With their hands?
Yes. Right into the center.
So is the idea best to lay them flat on the floor, try to get them on the floor?
Yes, they need to be on a flat, hard surface.
Okay.
You push hard and you push fast on that chest.
So just dut. Okay, as hard as you can.
100 compressions per minute, 30 within 18 seconds, and it's at least pushing down on that chest at least 5 centimeters, at least 2 inches on the adult. Now,
making the chest go in 2 inches, is that what you're saying?
That's correct. And make sure the chest come back to recoil.
Okay.
The reason why, because there is still blood and oxygen that is still into the vital organs in the body, such as lungs, and you want to keep that circulating.
So you're saying that this will do almost as much good as also breathing into the human being's mouth?
It is just, yes, to a certain extent would be, but also the breath is very, very important too. I teach BLS, CPR. BLS is basic life support. I do a lot of professional.
I know you have a class coming up.
Yes.
Thursday night?
Thursday night.
Where?
I have it in Winchester.
Well, let's give your phone number, and if somebody's interested in coming to that class, 636-5577.
That's correct.
636-5577.
They need to call and pre-register.
Okay.
I have classes just every week. It's going on. I go in people's homes and teach class. I do a lot of businesses. I teach a lot in business factories, help them set up first responder teams. I also teach bloodborne pathogenics, and the bloodborne is in dealing with body fluids too. I teach a lot of those classes as well, and a lot of mothers with infants. I teach a lot pertaining to.
So if anybody's interested in taking a class with you or getting a group together, they can call that number that's on the screen now and set up a class.
And I have a reduced rate with so many.
Okay.
As well.
Well, do you teach almost any time, or what are you doing regularly during the day? Is this all you do?
Yes,
this is your profession.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's a wonderful thing, and nobody ever knows. You know, I've had heart attacks in my family over and over, and it's something we all need to think about. And so, let's reiterate quickly what the best methods when you first see the symptoms of a heart attack. Call 911, stretch the person out on the floor, and start pumping their chest.
Yes.
And the centimeters, I'll forget, I know there was 2 inches, and then release. But you're still doing it as fast as you can, and as hard as you can, with all the strength you have.
That's correct.
Well, this is a wonderful thing that everyone needs to know. Do you have any last words you want to?
It's something very, very important as well. Is a lot of infant. I teach a lot in infants, newborn. They get choked and they go into cardiac arrest as well as children. To infant is up to 1 year of age. A child is 1 to 8 years of age as well as. Also, something that is very important that I teach is AED, the automatic external defibrillator, a heart shocker. I teach that, and you'll be certified. The certification is good for 2 years for the American Heart. It's good for 2 years certification. If anybody got any questions at any time, they're welcome to call me.
Call that number.
Yes, call that number at any time. I do classes Saturdays and Sundays. We just want to educate the public, get the word out there.
Awesome.
Because the slogan of my business is, the life you save could be someone who you love.
And it might even be your own, I guess.
It might be your own.
Thank you so much for coming. We all need to take heed to your advice. We'll be back with more of Living.
Mark, you've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay him a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children, to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All right, folks, welcome back, and this is the week before, the week that is and is going to be exciting in Tullahoma. That's the 41A Festival, and I have two of the organizers and shakers and movers here with me today. That's Hope Keel and Leroy Grizel. And what in the world is happening in 41Aville?
Well, we're really excited about the lineup this year with Dustin Lynch coming and the Pop Rocks coming back. We are just excited to have such a great lineup, and there are only two of the performers that are going to be there.
And I know, Leroy, you've been working quite diligently on vendors and some of the other things that goes along with this, other than the music side of it.
Right. We've got a great vendor lineup. We've got our arts and crafts building full. That will be in the old First National building. Mm-hmm. We'll have other retail vendors outside, plenty of good eats, food vendors coming. So shaping up to be even bigger and better than last year.
And I think last year, this is the third year?
Correct.
And I think that thing has brought in probably, what, 2,000-3,000 people a night?
That is our estimates, and with Dustin in this Saturday night, I think we're going to,
There's no telling.
There is no telling.
There's no telling. There could be 10,000-15,000 people show up.
We're very fortunate to have him coming.
Right. That's great. And the Pop Rocks do a great job, and all the other bands. We've got some local bands that are involved in this as well.
And they all do awesome. They all pull great crowds, and they're all helping us out too. Because it is for the Kiwanis that are benefiting children in the area. The money stays in the local area. That's what we do it for. And the admission again this year is free. So everyone come on out,
folks. Free.
Yes. It is.
And how long have you been involved with this, Hope?
Well, I'm the current president of the Highland Rim Kiwanis Club this year, but I've been a member of the club for 4 years. So
you've been involved with it since day one as well?
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, it's exciting because, if you folks hadn't been to this, they bring a big stage in. I mean, this thing's rigged out just like it's a real concert venue, and move people on and off that stage for 2 days.
Yes.
And I know last year there were hula hoop girls hanging around, and there's just all kinds of neat things take place.
Yeah, we did.
Neat things take place.
We'll have to see this year what happens.
Okay. When did you? Oh, the video's ready. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to go right now to a little video of Dustin Lynch, and then who is a local boy who's knocking them dead on the country music scene. Let's go to that, and then we'll be back and discuss it.
There's a want and there's a need. There's a history between girls like her and guys like me, cowboys and angels. I've got boots and she's got wings. I'm hell on wheels and she's heavenly. I'd die for her and she lives for me. Cowboys and angels. We ride side by side. A cloud of dust, a ray of light. My touch is her temptation, her kiss is my salvation. She's sweet, I'm wild, we're dangerous. Cowboys and angels. Not sure why her path crossed mine. Accident or grand design. Oh, maybe God just kinda likes cowboys and angels. We ride side by side.
All right. I mean, this is his Dustin's album is the first country album I think in 4 or 5 years that has debuted #1 on Billboard.
That's correct.
He's #1 CMT video, #1 GAC video, and has I think had over 500,000 downloads in the last 3 months, 2 months, however long that song's been out. So phenomenal. Traveling all over the country. How did you score this coup?
I was reading an article in the newspaper about Dustin Lynch, and I logged into Facebook and sent him a message. Just told him about our event and that it was in his hometown, and I thought he should play. And he and I messaged back a couple of times, and he gave me the contact information of who we needed to get in touch with, and we just went with it from there.
Great.
So
that's wonderful. That is just absolutely wonderful, because this young man's going to be he's going to be a superstar. He's got he's got the look, he's clean, he's neat, he's got what those folks are looking for, and he's been very smart in that he's played just about every sorority house in the United States, and those young women are crazy over him. So you can expect quite a few folks, I would imagine, come just for him.
We actually have been receiving messages and emails, people that are coming like 7.5 hours away just to come see him. So we know that we're going to have a good turnout. Big crowd.
So folks, this is downtown Tullahoma. It is not this weekend, but next weekend, right?
28th and 29th.
28th and 29th. So that is a Friday and a Saturday. And things will get started on Friday about
6 is what time it starts on Friday, and then it'll go to it's supposed to go to 11, but you know how things like that go.
Yeah, and then Saturday you come back with activities starting at 12 noon.
And probably on Friday night, vendors will be set up by 5, so we'll have food vendors and stuff out there before the music starts at 6. So come on out.
Okay, all right.
We also have the kids zone on Saturday. So bring the kids Saturday afternoon.
And spend some money, because that's how the Kiwanis Club gets a benefit out of this to take care of these kids, is for you spending money. So buy something when you're there. It's free to go, so buy something. Get something good and cold to drink, get something to eat, spend some money. We appreciate y'all. And what we're going to do now, I think, is we have a video of Pop Rocks from last year.
Good.
And this is another local young lady.
Yes.
Correct.
And we're gonna give you a little bit of that right now. Make sure, go to the 41A Festival.
So this one goes out to Chris. Just a small town girl.
Backstage, 41A Fest. I'm here with Pop Rocks, who just got off the stage, and we're awesome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Did you have a good time?
We had a blast. That was really good. That was a good crowd. Everybody got into it, got up, started dancing. Had a conga line thing happening. So very cool.
Well, it's got to be a little surreal, you being from Tullahoma here, to be on stage here in Tullahoma. That's got to,
Yeah, it's sort of full circle moment. I go study music, and I actually am doing it. So yeah, can't complain. It's a good deal.
And guys, excellent as always.
Thank you.
Now, if we could keep the food smell from coming to you guys, that would be right.
Very distracting. Excellent food.
Yeah. Somehow we've got to get quesadillas to these guys on stage.
I heard fried Oreos too. This town enjoyed our music. Yeah, fried Oreos, quesadillas. I'm looking for a house tonight. I'm staying. I'm staying. If anybody in Knoxville sees this, I'm not dead. I'm staying here.
And don't even get started on the fried Twinkies now.
Holy shit. I'm out of here.
See, we've already lost one. Yeah.
I think that's how we're getting paid is in fried Twinkies.
In fried Twinkies? Is that how you get? Oh, wow.
That's okay with us.
Well, we worked out a good deal then.
That'll be next year for sure, now that we know.
Well, again, you guys sounded great, and a great show, and everybody seemed to really enjoy it. Did you get anything back from the from the crowd?
Oh yeah, immediate. It built up, but like I said, everybody was yelling at us and hooting and hollering, and having a really good time. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Looked like they were having a good time. So.
Well, they certainly were. They certainly were.
Like it from our vantage point, looked like they were enjoying themselves. So.
Well, they absolutely were. And okay, I'm not going to keep them too much longer. There are fried Twinkies and Oreos to get to. So So, guys, thanks again. You guys rocked, man. Sounded great.
Thank you. We had a good time.
Pop Rocks, everybody.
Times have changed since Traders Bank first opened our doors in 1889. Back then, online banking meant people were waiting ahead of you. And technology? The word hadn't even been invented yet. Even though banking has transformed over the years, at Traders, one thing has never changed. Friendly smiles, a neighborly hello, and a sincere appreciation for our customers. When a Traders employee says, "You're welcome," you are, and you always will be. Traders Bank, you're welcome. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Folks, when it comes to pouring down rain, the animals head inside, and I've got soaking wet, almost drowned to the bone, my buddy Charlie Allen, the Tennessee farmer, the United States farmer, the American farmer. He's right here, and we've got 4 inches of rain. It's just too late for the crop.
The wheels are turning slow.
Wheels, hey, they do.
That's their last one.
You've been on the road doing some writing.
Boy, I have.
And finding all kinds of neat things going on out here in this country of ours. And you have brought in here with you.
I sure have.
Something hot.
Well, it's a new group we've been working with. They're still in Vanity. They're from Daytona Beach. They've done a lot of shows. They're getting a lot of people out there loving what they're doing. Kyle is my stepson. And I'm excited to have them here. I mean, they're the next big thing in the pop rock.
Pop rock.
I said pop rock. Now, you never thought I'd do that, did you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
You never know about Charlie Allen, do you?
I've been a pop. Sometimes I'll rock.
I know. Well, you do rock. I like it. I like you on TV.
I think I might like
you do a good job.
I think I might like it, Charlie.
All right. All right. So anyway, back to the story.
Back to the story.
They got a new video out called Love Sick.
Love Sick. And I think we've got that.
Yes. You think we could show a little bit of that?
Right now? Why don't we go to that video?
Hey, let's do that. Yeah. All right.
Everybody feels love sick.
All right. What'd you say? I look like a dog with a chain.
Look at that chain.
Well, that's what he did.
Chain thrown around your neck.
I can't help
We're
it.
having microphone problems here with the American farmer.
It's raining on us. Raining on us.
Dustin's mic. Who are these young people over here? They're right over here, and we're getting ready to give you a dose of them as soon as Charlie introduces them.
Christine May is the lead singer. Ryan Hutchison's a guitar player. Kyle Jr. is my stepson, and Brad is the bass player.
His last name's Jr.?
Yeah, Jr.
Okay, Kyle Jr.
Yep.
Kyle Jr. what?
Very talented. That's all you need to know.
Kyle Jr. talented.
All right.
So what's their name?
Steel and Vanity.
Steel and Vanity.
Here we go.
It's up to you guys.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
Want to play the music video one? Love scene?
Yeah. How about OY?
OY?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
OY.
Decisions.
Brad, how you feeling up there? Ready?
Yep.
All right.
Built some bridge that was useless. Within hours it crumbled down. Thought it could take me someplace else, but it was only temporary. Suddenly, I found myself lost again. Suddenly, I hit the bottom again. Why am I here alone? But I'm not here alone. So I pace around for hours. What's my escape this time? Trapped in loneliness, I feel the pressure breaking beneath me. Why am I here alone? But I'm not here alone. No. Yeah, I got so far, but why? Oh, why? Well, I got so far, but why? Whoa, why am I here alone? Oh, yeah. But I'm not here alone. Look around, the changes catch your eye, and you come to realize one can make a difference. Since 1915, Kiwanis International has touched millions of lives. When you help one child, you help the world. But one can make a difference.
What a show.
Yeah, great
That's
show
some
today,
good
John.
stuff.
I commend you guys who put this together, except that Charlie Allen's a big star, and I think you need to realize that, because you really give him a hard time today here on this off camera here today.
I did
You
not.
really kind of wore him.
Sit down right there. Sit down right there.
You ain't supposed to do things.
This right here is the face of the American farmer.
I love it.
After he's been strangled, beat,
Kicked.
dried up, kicked, his dog bit him.
He did bite me.
My dog did bite me.
Some days it just don't pay to get out.
That's right.
And drug in out of a 4-inch rain.
I don't know if we mentioned it or not, but is the American Farmer the name of your television show, Charlie?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And you tape that somewhere in Florida? Is
Yeah,
that
we do it in Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right past a little bit West Palm. Really cool little place down there. My first time I got burnt to a crisp. I thought I'd write a song on the beach.
And
boy, did I get it.
It was hot, huh?
How much corn do they grow down there?
Well, you'd be surprised exactly
American
what
farmer.
they do.
I
mean,
know.
you don't know what they do down there. I've been around there.
So what Charlie's saying is he was drinking a case of beer prior to
12 ounces deep. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Should have hurt on me. Yeah, it did. I forgot where I was at.
He woke up 12 hours later and missed the first
Come on,
tape
y'all.
and was sunburned. It's tough being a country singer.
It's tough being
Love being a country singer.
Y'all stars, everybody sees y'all on TV every day. Everybody get to see me maybe every one week. Or so.
Yeah, but we're proud of it.
Yes,
We're
we are.
proud of you.
We're very proud of you.
Yeah, it doesn't pay me. It doesn't
guys.
pay much, but I mean,
Well, what does pay? What does pay? Hey, we want to tell you folks to remember this weekend, Jason Petty is at South Jackson Civic Center. Tullahoma High School is playing in Tyner. We'd love to see you folks make the trip over to the other side of Chattanooga. If you don't make that, it'll be live Saturday morning at 8 o'clock and replays during the weekend.
and Coffee County will be playing Independence at home this Friday night. So,
see a ball game.
I like ball games.
See a show.
Great show. Love all of you. See you next time.
Bye-bye.